low level voltage is considered as logic 0 and high level as logic 1. Similarly, for the negative logic, it is just reverse of that of the positive logic. That is, low level we have considered the logic 1 and high level we have considered the logic 0. So that means for logic 1 here we are assigning a plus 5 voltage in the negative logic, and for logic 0 we are assigning a 0 voltage. Sorry, for logic 1 we are assigning a 0 voltage here, and for logic 0 we are assigning a plus 5 voltage in the negative logic. Both are vice versa, and these are the differences here. You can see that for positive logic, you can see here in the presentation. You can see that here in the positive logic, you can see there is a pulse. So that is the voltage signal or voltage level, we can say. The low indicates 0 here. You can see that the low indicates 0 and high indicates 1 in positive logic. Similarly, for negative logic, the low indicates 1 here. You can see that low indicates 1 and high indicates 0. So this is the meaning of positive and negative logic. You can design any digital circuit using by considering either positive logic or negative logic. Before designing any circuit, you should ask for the whether we are designing for the positive logic or for considering negative logic. You have to ask, and for the particular positive or negative logic we are going to design any logic circuit. If you see here the AND gate truth table, you can see that the AND gate truth table here A, B, Y. Just you can see the differences here. Example, I have taken AND gate and OR gate. In positive I have taken the AND gate, in negative logic I have taken the OR gate. And yesterday we have seen how to create a truth table for positive logic OR gate and negative logic OR gate. Is it clear? Just now see here the positive logic AND gate and see the negative logic OR gate. See the truth table. Just see the truth table here, both the truth tables. Any difference there? Any difference there?
No, sir.
Now I think it is visible clearly. Fine. Any differences here for positive logic AND gate and negative logic OR gate? I don't think you will find any differences, because for 0 0 you can see here, for the OR gate here, for OR gate 0 0 you are having 0, and similarly for the AND gate 0 0 you are having the output 0. Similarly for 1 1 you are getting 1. Other so you are getting output as 0. So meaning of this truth tables here indicates is the positive logic AND gate is equal to the negative logic OR gate. Is it clear? Because the truth tables are identical here. This truth table for AND gate is considering positive logic, and this truth table is considered using negative logic for the OR gate. So meaning of this difference here is the positive logic AND gate is equal to the negative logic OR gate. Similarly, you can see here in the next case also, the positive logic OR gate is equal to the negative logic AND gate. You can see that. Again, you can see that both the truth tables are identical for 1 1. Okay.
Sir, you are not audible. Sir, you are not audible. Sir, you are not audible.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Fine, fine. Okay. Okay. Yesterday we have seen the differences between positive logic and negative logic, and I think this is clear, right? How the positive logic AND gate is equal to the negative logic OR gate. Okay? Because the truth tables are identical here. You can see both the truth tables are identical. So that's why the positive logic AND gate is equal to the negative logic OR gate. Fine. Now we'll start with the basic rules of Boolean algebra. So there are three types of rules available: addition, multiplication, and there are some other rules. The addition is same as that of the Boolean OR function. You can see that OR means we are representing a plus symbol here, and multiplication means it is a same as that of the Boolean AND function, and we are using a dot function there. Okay, if you see the Boolean addition, these are the outputs we will get. For 0 plus 0 we are getting 0, 0 plus 1 1, 1 plus 0 1, and 1 plus 1 is 1. And here this 1 plus 1 is 1 because this is not a arithmetic addition. Since it is a Boolean addition, we are getting 1 plus 1 is always 1 here in Boolean algebra. Fine. Similarly, the Boolean multiplication, you can see that it is same as that of the Boolean AND function here, and 0 dot 0 is again 0, 0 dot 1 is 0, 1 dot 0 is also 0, and 1 dot 1 is 1. So these are always the outputs of these input combinations are always like this only. Okay, and there are some other rules available here. The A indicates the input variable. If A plus 0 is equal to A, and A into 0 is always equal to 0. Similarly, A plus 1 is always 1 because yesterday I have explained 1 plus anything is always 1 only. Okay, 1 plus any value it may be any value. You will see that in the next examples. 1 plus anything is always 1. You just note it down. For Boolean algebra, 1 plus anything you write. Anything may be whatever the equation may be there. So that is 1 plus anything is always 1. Similarly, 1 into A is always A, and A plus A is always A. Similarly, A into A is always A, and this one, what do you call this? A plus A dash. So what is the meaning of A dash there? What is the
A.
meaning of A dash here?
Complement of A.
Yeah, good. This A dash, or we call it as a bar also. Sometimes some textbooks prefer writing instead of a dash, they write a bar. A above there is a bar. So like that, a plus a dash is always 1. So that meaning of that is if any input variable plus its complement is always 1. And similarly, input variable and its complement, multiplication of those input variable and its complement is always 0. So these are the some basic rules you should remember. Better you note it down, all of you. Fine. I will share this PPT once the PPT presentation is over for these prerequisites. Okay. Till then, better you note it down, all of you. Okay. Now, so these are the some basic rules, and there are some special cases. Okay. These are the special cases you should remember. These results may help you to solve different Boolean algebraic functions in future. So previously here we have mentioned this a dash is nothing but complement of a. Now you can see here this is a double dash here. So a double dash means complement of a and its complement. Okay, you can see that complement of a is a dash. Fine. Again, complement of this a dash is again we are getting a here. So if you take any input variable and if you take the double complement, we call it as a double complement, then it will be a itself. If you are taking the complement of x, that is the double complement of x, then it will be x itself. Similarly, if you are taking the double complement of b, then it will be b itself. Fine. Now you have seen this, and I have explained some basic rules here. But I hope you have noted down the rules here. Now tell me how this a plus ab is equal to a. Anybody? How to solve this? What I have written there, a plus ab is equal to a. How it?
Common, sir. A common.
Yeah. Who is that? Okay, Ritik Kumar. Is that you? Okay. What we do here is you just take the a common here from both these, from the left hand side. Now, if you take the a common, it will be 1 plus b. Fine. Now, what is the rule we have to apply here? 1 plus b.
1 plus b equal to 1.
1. Now it will be a into 1. Again, a into 1 is
A.
a. So this is how we have to solve this. Is that clear? Just comment. Is that clear? Okay, Bhagyashree Nagura has also solved that. Very good. Fine. If you want, you can check it on once again. Just you take the a1 there, a common, and 1 plus anything here. You have to apply 1 plus anything here. So 1 plus anything is always 1, and a into 1 is always a. So like that. Now, similarly, better you solve it down. A plus b into a plus c. Okay, what is the output there? A plus b into a plus c. A plus b into a plus c. Now what we have to do here? Multiply each variable with other variable. What we have to do? We have to multiply this a with these two variables, like arithmetic multiplication only. So it will be, I'll write it down here, a into this a variable multiply with these two variables first. Fine. After that, we have to multiply this with these two variables. So we will write this a into a plus a into c, a into c plus it will be b into a plus b into c. Fine. Is that clear? So okay, this one we are solving. This is the intermediate step. This is not the complete answer. Okay. Again, now you apply the rules here. Okay. Again, you apply the rules, some of the basic rules. Here you can apply the Boolean multiplication rule, A into A. So what is that value?
A.
Yeah, it is A. After that, A into AC is A into AC, A into C itself, A into C, plus again B into A or A into B. Both are same. We will see that in the next law. So that is a commutative law. We will apply here. A into B is equal to B into A. So instead of B into A, I am writing A into B itself here. Again, for B into C, B into C itself. Okay. So this is what we have solved here. Again, it is not completely solved. Now what we have to do? So what we can do here?
A into bracket 1 plus C.
Yeah, we are taking A common here. Fine. 1 plus C. Again.
AB plus
So what is the common part in this
common.
part? What is the common part? B.
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 So you take the B common and it will be A plus C. Okay. Or let it be as it is, AB only, because we are solving this. Now what will be the value here? A into 1 plus C. You can apply this one. You can apply this rule here.
A.
You can apply this rule here for this one. Then you will get A. After that, A into B. After that, B into C. Now, any further simplifications?
Again A common, sir.
Yeah, better you take A common here. A into 1 plus B. After that, B into C. Again, apply the same rule. Apply the same rule here. You can see that. So you will get A only plus BC. Now you can't solve further. Okay. All the variables are different now. A plus BC. You can't solve for further now. So this is the simplification part. A plus C is equal to A plus BC. So this is the one common and very important rule for solving any algebraic functions. Fine. So we will update that value here. A plus B into A plus C is equal to, it will be A plus BC. Fine. Now similarly, you better write down A plus A bar B or A plus A dash B. So what is the final value we will get here? Now anybody tell me how I have got this? I have written the next step already here. For this question, I have written the next step already. Now we have to solve this one. Can anybody tell me how I have written this step?
Sir, it is same as third equation, sir.
Yeah, I have applied the third property here. Whatever the property here it is, the special case, I have applied that here. You can see that instead of C here, B is already here. Fine. Instead of C, you have to replace that with A bar. In the previous equation, instead of this C, you replace that with A bar, then you will get here also. Instead of C, you replace that with A bar or A dash. So you will get this equation. Now, can you further simplify this one? Can you further simplify?
A plus A bar is 1.
Yeah, it is 1. So it will be 1 into A plus A plus B, and 1 into A plus B is equal to, it will be A plus B itself. Is that clear? Let's put the comment. Is that clear? How you got this? Fine. Now we'll move now. So these are the special cases for solving any algebraic equations. Fine. For solving any algebraic equations, you should know the Boolean addition functions, Boolean multiplication rules, and these are the some other rules. Along with that, we need some special cases like this. Then only we can solve any Boolean algebraic functions. Is that clear? Now we'll start with the Boolean algebraic laws. We have seen the Boolean algebraic rules now, that is addition rules and multiplication rule and some other rules. Now we'll see the algebraic laws here. So these are same as that of the, so these laws are same as that of the arithmetic laws. So in arithmetic operation, you can see that there is a commutative law, associative law, and distributive law. So here also for Boolean algebraic functions, we have commutative, associative, and distributive law. Fine. You can see that for commutative law, and you can apply that commutative law for addition as well as multiplication. Similarly, associative for addition and multiplication. You can see that commutative, A plus B is equal to B plus A. Similarly, for multiplication, A into B is equal to B into A. So this is the commutative property. You have saw this in the arithmetic part also, arithmetic operation part also. Fine. Similarly, the associative law for addition, A plus B plus C in bracket is equal to A plus B in bracket plus C. So how to read this actually? So there is a technique to read this. We read it as A plus BC is equal to A plus B plus C. We have to read it like this: A plus BC equal to A plus B plus C. Similarly, the multiplication, for multiplication, here also A into BC is equal to, what I have to write here? A into B in bracket into C. Is that clear? Associative for multiplication. The associative for multiplication. Is that clear? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
So these are the commutative,
Yes, sir.
commutative and associative laws for addition and multiplication. We need again these laws for solving the Boolean algebraic equations only. Better you note it down, because I am going to give you the homework for you today. So better you note it down, all the properties and all the laws and rules, what I am explaining now. Now we'll see the distributive part, that is the distributive law. It will be, you can see that here, A plus A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. So this is the distributive law. A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. Now we can see that here all the commutative, associative and distributive laws, they have explained that using the gates. So this is the logic circuit for this commutative law. You can see that here the commutative law, they have taken, here we have taken addition part 2, they have taken 3. So we also take it 3 only, like them. So like what they have taken here, you can see the first part. So which is this gate here representing? If you see the output here, A plus B. So for which gate you are getting the plus output, A plus B output?
OR gate.
OR gate. Good. For OR gate, we are getting the A plus B output. So that means these two are OR gates here. Okay. For two OR gates, for one OR gate, we are giving A and B as the inputs. That is A plus B we are getting there. Now that output of this first OR gate is given as input to the another OR gate. Along with that, we have given the C input here. They have not mentioned. Actually, it will be C here. So it will be C. So A plus B, one input we are giving to another OR gate, and C also we are giving it to another OR gate. So that will be how the output will be here. Output of the second OR gate will be the first input plus second input. What is the first input here? For this OR gate, it will be A plus B plus what is the second input here? It will be C. So it will be A plus B plus C. So how they have got this A plus B plus C here? Now what they have done here is, now they are giving the A input directly to the second gate. Here what they have done previously, they have given C input directly to the second gate. Now they have taken the A input directly and they have given B and C as the input to the first gate. So the output of the first gate will be, that is B, for B and C input it will be B plus C, and along with that there is a one more input, and this output of the first gate are connected to the next gate, that is second gate here, and the output of this one will be again A, that is the first input for the second gate, and what is the second input for the second gate? That will be B plus C. It will be like that. So you can see that both the output here, A plus B plus C equal to A plus B plus C. So this is the commutative law. Similarly, the associative law, what they have taken? They have taken the AND gate. You can put it to, yeah, this is the AND gate. The previous one we have taken the OR gate. This is the AND gate here. Okay, you can see that the first gate they have taken A into B as the input. The output will be, output of the AND gate will be A into B. Now similarly the C input is given as one more input to the second gate, and what will be the output here? The previous output or the previous output input of the first gate, that is A into B, along with that this C. So it will be A into B into C. Similarly, they have done that with the, instead of A and B, they have taken it for B and C. Again, this they have made it wrong. It should be AND gate only here also. They have taken the OR gate. It should be AND gate only here also. Okay. Here, instead of A and B, they are giving it to the AND gate. Here, they are giving B and C, and the A input they are giving directly to the second AND gate, so that we are getting the A, B, C as the output. Similarly, the distributive law, you can see that here. The distributive law you can see here. They have implemented the A into B plus A plus C part here. They have implemented A into B plus A into C part here. For this implementing A into B, we need AND gate. Again, implementing A into C, we need AND gate. And to implement this whole function, we need a OR gate here. So what they have done, for one AND gate, they have given A and B as the input. We are getting AB output. Again, for one AND gate, they have given A and C as the input. We are getting AC as the output. So these are the product outputs we have got. Now we have to add those. We have to add them using the OR gate. It connected these outputs of the AND gate to the input of the OR gate, and we are getting the output as AB plus the LHS part, that is A into B plus C. You can see that here they have given the A input directly to the AND gate, and B plus C, they have taken the OR gate first. B, the inputs are B and C, and the output will be B plus C here for the OR gate, and this output of the first OR gate is given as input to the second AND gate here. Along with that, there is a one more input of A, and if you and this is the result here. Finally, at the end of the AND gate, you are getting A into B plus C as the output here. So both are equal here. So that's why distributive law, A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. So these are the Boolean algebraic laws. Fine. Is that clear? Boolean algebraic laws, associative law, commutative law, and one more is distributive laws are there. So we have to apply these laws for simplification of the function. Fine. Now we'll move further. Now very important point is whether the screen is visible now. Presentation is clearly visible to all. Whatever the slides I am showing now. Is it completely visible?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll see the De Morgan's theorem. So this is very important in digital electronics, or if you take any logic design subject, we should remember the De Morgan's theorem first. So there are two theorems here, the De Morgan's theorem. Here, the first theorem is the complement of the sum of two or more variable is equal to the product of the complement of the variable. Okay, you should remember this one. The complement of the sum of two variable. Complement of the sum of two variables. Sum of two variables is if you are taking A and B as the variables, what will be the sum of the two variables? It will be A plus B. And what they are telling here? They are telling the complement of the sum of two variables. So the sum of variables is A plus B, and complement of that will be A plus B whole bar, or it will be A plus B whole dash. Fine. So that will be equal to the product of the complement of the variable. So if I am taking A and B as the variables, what are the individual complement of those variables? It will be A bar and B bar. So here what they have mentioned, the complement of the sum of two variables is equal to the product of the complement of the individual variables it is. Okay, you see that here. So that is, you can see that. So what they have told, sum of two or more variable, that is the complement of the sum. Just don't see the complement part. First see the sum of two variables. It is there, A plus B. Now apply the complement. Complement of the sum of the two or more variable. So here we have taken two variable only. So it will be A plus B complement. So that is A plus B whole bar is equal to product of the complement of the variable. So you can see the product part here, A bar into B bar. And what they have told, it will be the product of the complement of the two variables, individual variables. Complement of A will be A bar into complement of the B will be B bar. So this is the first theorem. Okay, you can see that how they have implemented here. So what they have told, sum of the two variables they have taken using OR gate. If you apply input to the OR gate here, A and B, we will get A plus B as the intermediate gate output here before NOT gate. Okay, and for the NOT gate we are giving the input as A plus B. So the output will be whatever the input you are giving, the complement of that output will be there at the output of the NOT gate. So it will be A plus B as the intermediate output we are getting here. And after that we are giving the A plus B output as the input to the NOT gate, and that will be A plus B whole bar. Fine. So that will be equal to what they have told, the product of the complement of the variable. Now what they have done, they have taken the A and B variables and they have taken the complement of that. Complement of that means we are taking a NOT gate here. So what the NOT gate is doing, it is inverting the input variable. If it is A, if it is A, then we will get A bar. If it is A bar, then we will get A. So whatever the input you are doing, we are getting the complement of that output here at the NOT gate. Similarly, if you are giving A as the input to this NOT gate, the intermediate output at this output of the NOT gate will be A bar. Similarly, if we are giving B as the input to this NOT gate, the intermediate output will be B bar here. So at the input of the AND gate, we are having A bar and B bar as the input here. Okay, we are having A bar and B bar as the input. And what is the output of the AND gate? Whatever the input you are giving, the product of those will be the output of this one, AND gate. So that will be A bar into B bar. Fine. So this is the De Morgan's theorem. So that is complement of the sum of two variable. So that is complement. So this bar represents the complement of the sum of two variables is equal to the product of the complements of the individual variables. Okay, the product of the complement of the individual variables. So this is the De Morgan's theorem. This is the first theorem. So is that clear? Just comment there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll see the second theorem now. You note it down better. A plus B whole bar is equal to A bar into B bar. This is the first De Morgan's theorem. Now we'll see the second theorem. So the second theorem here, the complement of the product of two or more variables is equal to the sum of the complement of the variable. So it is just reverse of that of the first theorem only. That is, the product of two or more variable is equal to the sum of the complement of the two variables. It is. You can see that. You can see that instead of A plus B in the previous theorem, we have written A into B here, right? And instead of dot, we have replaced that with the plus here. You can see that instead of plus, what you do here in the previous equation only, that is A plus B whole bar. So wherever there is a plus, you just replace that with the product, that is dot, and wherever there is a dot, here it should be dot, and that should be replaced with the plus. So if you do that, then it will become your second theorem. Is that clear? You can see here the product of two or more variables. That is, the complement of the product of two or more variable is equal to the sum of the complement of the individual variables. So this is the second De Morgan's theorem. You can see that in the just previous De Morgan's theorem, that is first one, you just replace plus with dot and dot with plus. Wherever there is a plus, you replace that with a dot, and wherever there is a dot, you just replace that with a plus. Then you get the second theorem here. And this is how they have implemented. So first they have taken the A and B as the input to the AND gate. We are getting the intermediate output as AB. Here before the NOT gate input, we are getting the output of the AND gate as AB, and this AB input is given as the input to the NOT gate. So that will be the complement of that input will be the output here. So that will be A into B whole bar. So that is equal to, again what they have done, they have taken the OR gate here, because we need a OR gate here to implement this one. Because there is a plus, we need OR gate. Since there is a dot, we need AND gate here. So that common point you should remember here, all of you. So these are the basic things. Wherever there is a plus, we need OR gate. Wherever there is a dot, we need AND gate. Okay. And after that, for this OR gate, what are the inputs we need? A bar plus B bar. But I have the inputs A and B. How to make them A bar and B bar? We need to give the inputs A and B to the respective NOT gates, so that we get the A bar and B bar at the input of the OR gate. So this is how we are getting A bar plus B bar at the output of the OR gate. Okay. Now the second De Morgan's theorem. Is this clear? Second De Morgan's theorem. So in the first De Morgan's theorem only, you just replace that product with the dot, the plus with the dot and dot with the plus. So this is how we are getting the second De Morgan's theorem. Now we'll move further. There are some properties of the Boolean algebra. We'll see that. So this is very important point. There are two important properties of the Boolean algebra which can be applied to any Boolean algebraic equations are as follows. One is duality property. The second one is complementary property. Okay. First we'll see what is the duality property. You can see that here. So in duality property, here we replace and by or, that is dot by plus, and or by and, that is plus by dot. You have done that in the previous De Morgan theorem only. To get the second De Morgan theorem, you have applied the duality property to the first one. Is that clear? So this represents the same here. So here the duality property here, wherever there is an AND gate, we have to replace that with the OR gate, and wherever there is an OR gate, we have to replace that with the AND gate. And similarly in the equations, so in the logic circuits, you have to replace AND gate with OR gate and OR gate with AND gate. And in the equations, you have to replace a dot with the plus, and you have to replace plus with the dot. Okay, this is the duality property. So if you see one example here, example 1, I have written y is equal to a plus b, it will be b dot c. So instead of dot, I have written bc only, plus c dot d. So this is the equation, right? Now after applying the duality, so instead of plus, apply this theorem here, duality property. Instead of dot, we have to replace that with the plus, and wherever there is a plus, we have to replace that with the dot. So you can see here there is a plus symbol available, so I have replaced that with the dot. Similarly, there is a dot symbol available in between B and C, I have replaced that with the plus. Similarly, there is a plus symbol available, I have replaced that with the dot, and again there is a dot symbol available in between C and D, and I have replaced that with the C plus D. Fine. Now, similarly with the second example, you can see that here. The second example, y is equal to a dash plus b dot a plus c dash. Y is equal to a dash plus c, sorry, a dash plus b dot a plus c dash. So if you apply the duality property, it will be a dash dot b plus a dot c dash. Is that clear? The duality property. Wherever there is a plus, you have to replace that with the dot, and wherever there is a dot, you have to replace that with the plus. Don't put the attendance now. Fine. We'll move further. So this is the duality property. Fine. Now we'll move with the complementary property. Now we will see the complementary. So here, while applying the complementary theorem for the complementary property, the first step here is we have to apply the duality property only. Okay. For if they have given one Boolean algebraic function and they have told you to write the or apply the complementary property for that particular Boolean algebraic equation. So the first step will be here also. You have to apply the duality property. Okay, you can see that here. We first apply duality property to the Boolean expression. After that, we are complementing the individual literals or the variables we say. After that, we are applying the complementing of individual literals in the Boolean expression. You can see that here. If you are taking the example, y is equal to a into b into c plus a dash into b into c plus a into b dash into c dash. So this is the one algebraic equation they have given. Now we have to apply the complementary property to this Boolean algebraic equation. So what we have to do first, we have to apply the duality property. Fine. We have to apply the duality property. Better I will take that here. So this is the equation. So this is the equation they have given. Now what is the first point we have to do here? What is the first step? We have to apply the duality property. So if you apply duality property to this, so what is the meaning of that? Wherever there is a dot, we have to replace that with plus, and wherever there is a plus, we have to replace that with the dot. So what it will be? Instead of A into B into C, what it will be?
A plus B plus C.
Plus C.
Yeah, it will be A plus B plus C. Fine. And what about this plus? So that will become
Dot.
dot. Again, it will be A
A
dash
dash plus
plus
B plus C.
B
A bar
C. Fine. Again, that plus
dot
will become
B
dot.
plus C.
Again, A plus
Plus B dash plus C dash.
C dash. So if you apply the duality property to this, so it will be like this. Fine. But what we want? We want the complementary function. This is the first step of the complementary property. So if they have told you to complementary property to any Boolean algebraic equation, first you have to apply the duality property like this. After that, you have to complement the individual literals or individual variables. So what I will do? I will take the same here. Fine. And I have to apply the complement to the individual variables. So complement to individual variables means if it is A, we have to take, if it is A there, we have to take
A dash.
A bar.
A dash. If it is B, it will be B dash. If it is C, we have to take C dash. Now anybody tell me, if it is already A dash, what you have to take?
A.
A.
A, because you are taking the double complement there, because A dash of dash, so that will be a double complement. So double complement of any variable will be the variable itself. So it will be A itself, and it will be B dash, it will be C dash. Again here it
A
will be
dash
A dash,
B plus C.
will be B plus C. So this is how the complementary function looks like. So if they told you to write the apply complementary property for this Boolean algebraic equation, you have to apply the duality property and you have to write the equation like this, and you have to apply the complementary to the individual literals, and this will be your complementary property output for the particular Boolean algebraic equation. Is that clear? So you see that here also I have done the same. First apply duality, and I have mentioned that with the duality, that is y of d here I have mentioned. Fine. You have to apply, if you are applying duality, you just rename that y with the yd, and after the next step is complement the individual literals, that is here. You have to, if you are complementing, then you have to take the dash or y bar as the output, and this is the complemented output you are getting here, right? I hope this is clear for all. If they are asking only apply duality property, you have to just replace dot with the plus and plus with the dot. If they are asking for the apply complementary property to the Boolean algebraic equation, so in that we have two steps. We have to first apply the duality property. After that, we have to complement the individual variables. So this complementary property is very important for your second module. So better you have any question asked now only on the complementary property. Is that clear? So somebody has asked what is the necessity of applying complementary property, right? We are using this complementary property to solve the Boolean algebraic equations. To simplify the Boolean algebraic equations, we need this. Whatever the algebraic rules, laws and theorems, De Morgan theorems, and these properties, whatever I am explaining now, so we need those because to simplify the Boolean algebraic equation. So if you simplify the Boolean algebraic equation, so we can simplify the logic circuit. So if you simplify the Boolean algebraic equation, we can simplify the logic circuit. If you simplify the logic circuit, the complexity of the circuit will be reduced. Fine. So this is why we need the simplification techniques. Right? Is that clear? Those who have asked that question. Somebody has asked that question. Is that clear? Sunil Umrani, I think. Sunil Umrani.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Shall I move now? Now we have seen the basic rules, laws, De Morgan's theorems, and properties of the Boolean algebra. That is duality and complementary. Now what to do? All of you. See here. Implement the following Boolean expression with the basic logic gates. So all of you write it down. Y is equal to A into B plus B into C into D plus E into F into G into H. So this is the Boolean expression I have given. What you have to do? You have to implement this using the basic logic gates. What are the basic logic gates? And, or, and not gate. We have to use those logic gates, basic logic gates, and, or, and not gates, and we have to draw the logic circuit for this. Is that possible? You can see here. You can note. You can use 2 or 3 or 4 input AND gates here. We don't have any restriction for using AND gate. For one AND gate, you can give 3 input. For one AND gate, you can give 4 input. So the first step here is, the first question here is, we have no restriction on the inputs variables for the AND gate. And what you have to do next here is, you have to use only 2 input AND gates. So in the previous case, you have no restriction on the input of the AND gates, and you have to draw the circuit. Fine. In the second case, we have restriction on the AND gates. That is, we have to use only 2 input AND gates, and you have to draw the circuit here. Fine. See here. How to draw that? So this one, A into B plus B into C into D plus E into F into G into H. So this is the logical expression, and we have to draw the circuit for that, logical circuit. So I have some tool here available with me. Note it down, all of you, how to draw the logic circuit for that. Just a second, it is loading now. Now we can see here. So in the logic expression, what we have written, y is equal to A into B plus B into C into D plus E into F into G into H. So to implement A into B, I need an AND gate here. So what I will take? I will take one AND gate. Fine. Note it down, all of you, how the circuit looks. So I need one 2 input AND gate and one 3 input AND gate and one 4 input AND gate. So you can see here. So one 2 input AND gate I need. You can see that here. I have given the 2 inputs for this AND gate. Now what I will do? I will just copy that AND gate, and I will take the 3 input AND gate here. I need 3 inputs for this AND gate. So what I will do? I will put the number of inputs 3 here. Fine. Again, what I need one more 4 input AND gate. So what I will do? I will just make the inputs 4 here. Fine. And what we need here to implement this equation? So I need a OR gate. So to consider this as one variable, whole variable, this has another variable, and this has another variable. So there are 3 variables there. So we are adding 3 variables. So meaning of adding 3 variables means I need a 3 input OR gate here. So I will take that here. What I will do, I will make the inputs 3 here. Fine. Now what I will do, I will give the connections here. Fine. So this is a 2 input AND gate. Fine. I hope this is visible to all. Anybody just unmute your audio and tell me.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Fine, fine. Just follow what I am doing. Actually, drawing it on the paper is very easy, but it is very difficult here. So I am trying my best to show you. Fine. What I will do, I will make the connections now. Output of all the AND gates, I have to give it to the input of the 3 input OR gate. You can see that here. I hope you have written the y is equal to a into b plus b into c into d plus e into f into g into h. So this is the output we should get here. So the circuit for that expression will be here. So what I have to write here? A, B, fine. And another one will be B into C into D, and another here E into F, G, H. And what is the output of this AND gate? It will be A into B, it will be B into C into D, and this will be E into F into G into H. And what is the final output of this OR gate? It will be A into B plus B into C into D plus E into F into G into H. Is that clear? Is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear how to draw the
Sir.
circuit?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fine. Now what you do? Here I have taken the 2 input AND gate, 3 input AND gate, and 4 input AND gate. So the next step is you have to use only 2 input AND gates, and you have to draw this circuit for this expression. So that will be a task for you. Tomorrow I may ask randomly anybody, and you have to show your book on the camera. Fine. I will ask that randomly. I will ask. So better you note it down and use only 2 input AND gates. Fine. And this is the one more one. Better you note it down. Simplify the expression using Boolean algebraic equation. You write this equation. I need answers for the logic circuits for both these. For this one as well as this one. I may randomly ask anybody. Better you note it down, all of you. So the second expression is y is equal to a into b plus a into b plus c plus b into b plus c. So what you have to do here is, all of you just listen here. In the second expression, before drawing the logic circuit, you have to simplify that. You have to apply the basic rules, laws, theorems, if possible, and properties. Then you have to simplify that logical expression. After that, the simplified logical, what they have mentioned here, simplify the expression using Boolean algebraic techniques. First, you have to simplify this one. Fine. We have the basic rules, laws, theorems, and properties. We have to apply all those if possible, and we have to simplify that. And after that, we are going to draw the simplified logic circuit using the basic gates. Okay. So this is the task for you. All of you do it, and I may choose anybody randomly tomorrow. Fine. Is that clear? All of you have noted it down. So is that clear, all of you? Fine. Now the next class will be resumed in 5 minutes. Don't leave the class. Okay.
Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon. It's audible now?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mahesh Patel, sir. Mahesh Patel, sir.
Hello, sir.
You can stop the present. No, I will share.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. I'm stopping now. Just a minute.
Don't stop record.
No, sir. You better start the recording later.
Okay.
Because we are making the separate videos for each class. That's
Okay.
why. Okay.